Present what you said now. You said you found this and that, Abi. Oh, they are the ones committing this crime and that crime, Abi. Oh, yeah, come and prove the evidence here. No. No. Because the purpose is not to prove anything. The purpose is to kind of give reasons why they are killing people or why they are keeping you in their custody. Their media will spread it and say you are a very dangerous person. When it is time for them to come and prove how dangerous you are, you won't see them. Today, the judiciary is completely with them, and the way it works, also once they ask the judiciary to keep you away for treason, they will say by law, the law of treasonable felony, the law of section 1, 2, 3 of the criminal code of and the judge will be like, that's true. Oh yeah, go and lock him up. Do you understand? That's how they run their things there. They have intelligence reports. We have all the reports. We receive intelligence report that people want to hijack your protest. People that want to kind of destroy Nigeria. Oh yeah, bring the evidence of the intelligence report. But they will take away your right, take everything away from. That's why it is a shithole country. So if they are looking for committee, there's no need for committee. We don't do the work for you. Alaye, need committee. If you are looking for the people that kidnap the children and accuse them of planning to overthrow government, number one is Damuyiwa. The second one is Igbetokun. And then everybody in that IRS, including the prison warden that kept them in Kuje prison, just go and get their names and arrest all of them. That was 2 days ago. Muyiwa was still saying that the children, they were guilty. Whether they are 13, whether they are this, by law, we can lock them up. And he has his own children, you know. And there are many like that, you know. We are doing our job. We are doing our job to make sure that this is our democracy. Which democracy? And you know, democracy. That's what they did to Onnaghen. You remember Onnaghen? Nigeria is not a real place. So the former Attorney General, the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Onnaghen, in 2018, after Uwais? I think it was after Uwais as your CJN, then Bokwari couldn't find, Bokwari found out that the next qualified person to the retiring Chief Justice of Nigeria is not a Fulani man. His name is Justice Onnaghen. They can't sack him. So Bokwari now puts him on acting Chief Justice of Nigeria and failed or refused to confirm him as a substantial Chief Justice. Remember, they were preparing for 2019 elections. And it was going to be rigged. The whole thing was going to end up in court, of course. So from nowhere, they said they received a petition against him. Baba, they received a petition on Monday that Onnaghen did not declare a dormant foreign bank account. It's like somebody having a HSBC bank account with £34 account balance that was never operated. That was lastly operated like about 20 years ago. So they said he didn't declare the accounts during the time he was to become the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. So because he didn't declare it, he has committed an infraction. So he has to be investigated. Baba, the whole thing lasted for just 1 week. They sacked him, arrested him for not declaring a £20 I'm giving you an example of like a 20 pounds balance account. But the whole plot was to get rid of him. Because the next person to him happened to be another Southerner. But Bukwari needed a Northerner. They went to Kano to go and bring Tanko technicality, Babalawo Ife, the plane driver, a Sharia court, customary court judge from Kano to make him Chief Justice of Nigeria. Tanko technicality. So that when the case of the 2019 election gets to the Supreme Court, the Bukwari person will be there. They replaced Onnaghen within a week. No investigation, no nothing. No. They don't even give him a chance to defend himself. Boom, they remove him. They charge him for corruption, for not declaring a bank account that he never operated for years. So Tanko technicality became the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The way that I was talking about driving an aeroplane. The day they were doing is, God damn it, Nigeria at the accident. Iluye is not a real place. Babe. Sharia court judge. They brought him to the National Assembly to be screened. And they were now asking him about the technicality of law. Tanko technicality was like the technicality of a law is like somebody who is not a pilot who is now driving a plane. If you see and say you go to see now one all those Ojuju Calabar, all those àwọn babalawo Ife ayé àtijọ́, àwọn baba babalawo we say if you see and say it was describing technicality of law. That's when kilo technicality of law and driving aeroplane. Who did drive aeroplane? For God's sake, man. Whether you liked it or not, he became the Chief Justice of Nigeria. They swear for him. They positioned him. And he did his job very well in ensuring that he certified Bukwari's second term. It was just to get the guy out. They didn't even allow him to enjoy his, his own time. Even if they have kind of told him the plan, he would probably have played along. It's part of the system. It's part of the establishment. But Bukwari was not comfortable with a Southerner being the Chief Justice. No. We can't let that happen. And then, 2 days ago, was it even 2 days ago or today? It was today. The guy went to court to clear his name and all of that. He's been to all these places, and finally, the court said that he should never have been removed. They have cleared him of any corruption now or doing anything wrong. But at least they got rid of him 5 years ago. And now, probably just clearing his name is enough for him anyway.
Well, let it be known by all Nigerians and the world that today's judgment is historical and significant. It's historical because this is the first time that an executive lawlessness and recklessness is being frontally set aside by a judicial authority and of the High Federal and Court of Appeal in Nigeria. Since 2016 to 2019, the judiciary suffered a lot of humiliation, a lot of things you can't see on camera. They intimidated us. Not only that, you see, the most two great and very, very serious error of the last administration was the invasion of the judges' quarters in the night, as if they were armed robbers, as if they were thieves, as if they were terrorists. What ground? They said the judges had money in their compound or in their possession. Oh yes, it's a presumption of corruption. They took them to court. All of them went out clean. So what was achieved other than blackmail, intimidation, and coercion by the executive or the judiciary in Nigeria? We all shouted, we all protested. We didn't know that the worst was coming. The worst that came was the removal of our Chief Justice of Nigeria, the head of the third arm of government, in an unceremonious manner. We all shouted about it. It was maneuvered. Unfortunately, the man became a victim. He was denied access to the Council of States. His monies that were in bank were taken away from him. And his life became almost, with respect, meaningless. If you rise from your call to ban 1978 to being removed as Chief Justice of Nigeria, what is left for you? Nothing. When this happened, anything can happen to any of our judges. And we believe that it not or should not happen in a constitutional democracy. Nigeria is practicing constitutional democracy. And therefore, all organs of government, the executive and the legislature, must respect judiciary. So the judgment today has affirmed the superiority of courts over whims and caprices of occupiers of executive and judicial and legislature. Let it be known by the whole world that judiciary in Nigeria is one of the best in the world. We have men and women of character learning who have sacrificed their life from their early age to old age to become anything in judiciary. And yet people talk flippantly, they talk recklessly concerning these eminent Nigerians. If we don't respect our judiciary in Nigeria, the whole world will not respect judiciary in Nigeria. I have been a recipient of commendation of Nigerian judiciary and Commonwealth law meetings, and in international bar associations, African bar associations, and several organs. So let it be known that Nigeria has one of the best judiciary in the world. And this judgment today has affirmed the paradigm shift from the old to new. So we are grateful to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for this paradigm shift, for this change. And we also commend the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi SAN, for his forthrightness. He knew when something was wrong, it's wrong. When something is right, it's right. The judgment of that tribunal is unconstitutional, it's unlawful, and reckless exercise of power. And therefore, we are celebrating today as the day of the independence of judiciary in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
So that we don't mix things up, okay? It was the best judiciary in the world that decided to legitimize the drug dealer, certificate forger, election rigger as the president of Nigeria today. That judiciary, that's when she is, sir. That's when she is. Question is not there's no question about that. It's she, sir. We understand that we are playing ourselves, and we have to set the record straight. It won't worry. Which one is the Nigeria judiciary is the best in the whole world? We receive commendation. We have to say thank you to Koolu Tifnumbu and then Fagbemi and the king. It won't worry. From where to where? The man even look like the late Baba Suwe, so to say. Is that not the same judiciary that a judge who saw children collapsing in court ran away from that court only to come back and then impose a 10 million naira bail? Is that not from the same court? That the person that is now the current CJN of Nigeria, Kekere Ekun Agbaule, was once banned from what? From entering America after giving a judgment that gave somebody who came forth in a general election, a governorship election, and they made him the governor. And after that, the entire eastern part of Nigeria became a terror spot. Hopeless Odingba. The Supreme Court governor of Owerri. The judiciary will never answer wrong by. Which of them?
When they were detained outside Abuja, to the best of our knowledge, the police did not even bother to get a remand order. So they had already detained them beyond the constitutional period. They now went to court seeking to legalize their illegality by obtaining a remand order to keep them. Now, when they got the remand order, the learned judge, Honorable Justice Nwite, ordered that they should be remanded in the custodial center. They took them to Kuje. Kuje rejected the minors. I need to put that on record. On the basis that by virtue of Section 35 of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act, juveniles or children, young offenders, cannot be detained in the conventional facility. They are supposed to be detained in juvenile centers or remand homes. Right now, they took, you know where they took them to? They took them to former SARS facility in Abuja. The same SARS that we are told has been abolished. They were not properly fed, as you can see from the video that we also at the Federal High Court. They were deprived of their fundamental rights. Now, on the basis of law, this should never have happened. This should never have happened. Because there is now a very duplicitous, very deceitful attempt to say that this is a government that, is trying to prosecute people who were involved in violence or whatever. But what we are seeing is that this has more to do with criminalization of protests. Now, you arrested these individuals, and you also took those that are also minors, and also detained them. And by virtue of Section 15 of the Child Rights Act, you cannot try a child in the conventional court. It has to be either the family court or the juvenile court. And you cannot also detain a child or minors where adults are supposed to be detained. In fact, even the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, Section 451, says that in the prosecution or trial of children or minors, that it shall be as provided for under the Child Rights Act. So what was the basis for taking these children before the Federal High Court? To remand them in a manner that has brought embarrassment to the entire country, and to the point that some of them had to basically be rushed to the hospital. And this is 3 months after they were arrested.
So they beat him.
For 3 months. For 3 months.
Not even an adult.
For 3 months. For 3 months. Before they collapsed at the Federal High Court. These minors have been kept in custody for the last 3 months, Dr. Batty. Not properly fed, not properly clothed, their welfare not catered for, some of their parents and relatives not even having knowledge of where they were kept. So it took series of applications in court to even force them to file this charge. And look at the charge they are filing against them.
What do you recommend?
Several things must happen immediately. In the first place, yes, the Attorney General has said he's going to review the file. Was he not aware? Can the learned senior advocate of Nigeria, Fabemi Eson, tell Nigeria that he's not aware, that he did not know that this charge was going to be filed? Yes, the police has prosecutorial powers. But when did the Nigerian police start prosecuting treason? It is usually in the Ministry of Justice. But this has now become a joke. A joke. And you look at what are they talking about? That they were protesting, some of them were carrying Russian flag, all sort of ridiculous things. And you are saying that children, that some of them are 13, 14, 15, they wanted to overthrow President Tinubu. So the president is so terrified by children. President Tinubu is so terrified that children were going to overthrow him, that they were going to wage treason against the federal government of Nigeria. When they were detained outside Abuja, to the best of
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily bill, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in Onnaghen, because some people will be at indoor.
Thank you, Jerry, Professor. We will always be grateful to you. No joke. So now, the judiciary that is duplicitous, playing the double standard. If anybody wants to try to kind of absorb them of anything, that will not be us. Because the entire system stinks. It's rotten. Normal, right? When a country gets to this level of degeneration, they say it is the time for the judiciary to set the record straight and deny the political class the further destruction of a country, violation of its law, and all of that stuff. It's time for them to set it straight. But no, not in that contraption. Never in that contraption. And you remember that Donyo Okwigbe met with Tifnumbu? I think it was last week, finally. Today he's back on the channel's television. And guess what he just promised us? We will no longer keep quiet for anybody that is attacking President Tifnumbu. Eh? The man that said that God called him to lead Peter Obi and you, the obedient, to 2023 charade. Look at him today. This life.
Take a job. I just call, and listen to me, Sheo. From now on, we are no longer going to keep quiet for people who just think they can insult Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu in the southwest is the apple of our eye. And
even when he does wrong,
he's not doing wrong. He's not doing wrong.
But things are not not looking well.
They will look well because we know him.
How do we then, when things are not going right? And so
I've just told you, it's a reformer.
Just a moment. Some of us believe so much in this country, we kept quiet. And those who kept quiet, just for a moment.
Yeah.
And your belief, you can measure the intensity of your belief. I can measure my own intensity of my belief.
So
in the Nigerian project. No, but the question I'm asking that, when people had believed in past presidents and past leaders, and we found that we woke up one day and we saw that our nation was on the ground, should we still keep quiet with the benefit of experience?
Nobody's asking everybody to keep quiet. But listen to you have a house, a 50.
Nuisance, Lele.
Like Olori Bruku in capital letter. Did he just say Tifnumbu is the apple of your eyes in Southwest? Abimi Ogbodadani.
Take a job. I just call, and listen to me, Sheo. From now on, we are no longer going to keep quiet for people who just think they can insult Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu in the southwest is the apple of our eye.
I don't know what I pay. It comes like say my my blood just kind of like boiling. They feel like say make them just leave me and this man inside one room just for 10 minutes, one-on-one, just to have a elder and conversation. Tifnumbu is the apple of your eyes in Southwest. Abulori Brukuni Joey. See, na so ass licking don't become so ni. Tifnumbu the apple of your eyes in Southwest. How? Latibo Sibo. I don't like to get emotional because right now, it be like say make I just see him one-on-one. Tifnumbu apple of your eyes Southwest. From where to where? I have seen people who are like ass lickers, crumb eaters, crumb chasers, all risers. I don't like I don't know, I believe that yes, things may be tough for everybody in that contraption right now. But ṣé ayé aláyé yẹn ti bàjẹ́ tó yẹn ni? Ṣé ayé ìdún yín ti bàjẹ́ tó yẹn ni? Like, has it become so miserable, poor, or what? I don't know. I don't understand. I've been a psychophancy taken to next level ni. Because I'm trying to figure it out. That can be psychophancy. Eléyìí ti márùn ọpọlọ dání for now. Àbí? I don't know. Anyway. Tinubu, open up your eyes. 10 they happen, oh. Seriously. 10 they happen. But more will leave them up for now. You see this guy? He's because I don't understand again. Oh. This is the example of foolish people also grow old. They are because they don't grow old now. Hey, thank God for social media. Oh. And on the side too, I think we should be grateful to God for T-Pain as well. This people just kind of make so many people to unravel.